Evil traits of Virgo Zodiac sign. While any sign has the propensity to be evil, each sign has its own particular evil that manifests through the sign's undesirable characteristics. There are different degrees of evil, from pettiness to betrayal and psychopathic tendencies. Let's take a look at some undesirable characteristics of the sign Virgo to see how their particular form of evil manifests. Number 1. Cold. Earth signs are not typically the warmest or friendliest signs. This is especially true for Virgo. Virgo is ruled by Mercury, who also rules the air sign Gemini. Virgo takes on some of the characteristics of an air sign and is gifted with an ability to detach from emotional thinking to process things logically. As an earth sign, this kind of thinking is geared towards practicality and organization. These two traits dominate the essence of the Virgo, and because of that, they're not as close to their emotions. This coldness can show a range of behaviors. From standoffishness to intellectualization of death and loss, the Virgo usually finds themselves being unaffected by other people's emotional problems. Evil only really manifests if the Virgo is completely detached and uncaring, which makes them capable of doing horrible things without batting an eye. Number 2. Calculative. Virgos are analysts. They prioritize efficiency and rules above anything else. They tend to schedule every single aspect of their life. This ability makes them great organizers, and they typically do well in positions and jobs that are heavily focused on the organization of many fine details. This trait can be used for good or evil. Some evil has a propensity towards careful planning, especially in the case of some serial killers. Organization and documentation was also a big part of the Nazi regime. The Nazis were calculated killers, and everything they did was purposeful. I'm not saying that Virgos are like Nazis, but that they have similar characteristics that, when taken to an extreme level, can be on the level of Nazis. Number 3. Skeptical. Virgos are scientific thinkers. They're always trying to figure out the most efficient way to live their lives. Once they've established a pattern or idea, it's very difficult to convince them otherwise, unless there's some valid logical reasoning behind it. To that end, Virgos are skeptics, and they hardly believe in anyone that can't provide them with a logical explanation. Virgos have a hard time trusting other people. They're typically very independent and have to be shown trust by others before they're able to give trust. Even then, that can be difficult because Virgos have a hard time trusting themselves. They often feel inadequate and undeserving of trust or even love. Skepticism isn't innately evil, but the dissociation that it can cause the Virgo can be devastating, especially if the Virgo turns nihilistic. It's a very short road between feeling insecure and thinking that nothing matters in life. With that kind of outlook, it's easy to turn to violence and other harmful behaviors. Number 4. Perfectionist. Like I said earlier, Virgos tend to plan everything down to the last second. They have incredibly high expectations, of which they often fail to meet themselves. Not trusting others plays into these expectations for the Virgo. If you want something done right, you better do it yourself, is the motto for Virgo. Life can't be planned out like the Virgo always wants, and that can cause the Virgo to become mentally and/or physically unwell. Again, this isn't a particularly evil trait, but it has evil implications. Virgo wants things the way they want them, and nothing else will do. In positions of power, this can easily degrade into tyranny and authoritarianism. Number 5. Critical. Going along with the other traits, Virgo is known for being critical. They're critical of themselves and critical of others. Their criticisms come from their outrageously high expectations, which they often feel should apply to others as well. They're controlling down to the last detail. Given the other examples, it's easy to see why such a high level of criticism can lead towards evil paths. Thank you for watching the video. Please like, share, and subscribe for all the updates.